Federal Open Market Committee decided to lower our policy interest rate by 1/4 percentage point. Inflation has eased significantly from its highs in mid-2022.
Okay, welcome back. That's Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The Fed cut rates 1/4 point today to a range between 4% and 4.25%. But President Trump again saying it's too little too late, that the Fed is hurting the U.S. economy. New Fed Governor Trump appointed, Steve Myron, wanted a bigger jumbo cut of 0.5 point. The expectation is rates will be cut by a total of 75 basis points by the end of the year. We got a lot to take on here. Let's bring in for help former British PM Cameron Director of Strategy, California gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton. Steve, what are your thoughts on this? We've seen the Fed slow to act, cut rates in the 70s, stagflation in the early 90s, 08 financial crisis. Even Paul Krugman said they waited too long back then. Are they waiting too long now? What do you think?
Yeah, too late, too little, if we reverse that famous phrase. And that nickname that the president gave Powell is exactly right, because he's too late now. He was too late, as we heard just before the break, too late raising rates. That's why, in part, we had the inflation. Of course, you can add to that the Biden spending splurge. And now he's too late cutting them, and it's not enough. I mean, look, I've run businesses. We all know people in business, and it's all about confidence and sentiment and that kind of energy and animal spirits. And this isn't really going to do enough to get things going. You've got so many good things happening on economic policy. You've got the energy boom that's really kicking off now. You've got the deregulation. You've got all these great ingredients. And if we just added a really serious cut to the mix, I think the economy would be taking off like a rocket ship, even more than it is now. But we're not going to get that because this guy there's no energy there with him. That's what, so you just watch him. It's just very depressing.
Yeah, Steve, so we're going to live with him for another, I think, until May, another 8 months or so. That's when his term is up. And, so let's talk about what you're talking about. Fed Chair Powell is criticized for misjudging rising inflation in 2021, incorrectly called it transitory. Then inflation became entrenched after Biden's blowout spending. The Fed began aggressively then hiking rates starting in March 2022. And now they're being criticized as too slow to bring them back down. Steve, inflation is cooling, growth is weakening. Their own projections show they're slowing down the economy to less than 2%. We should point out the Atlanta Fed says the Fed model shows 3.3% growth by the next quarter as Trump pulls in a U.S. investment.
Yeah, I mean, look, exactly. You've got a lot of investment coming in because of those deals that he's doing. We've got a great deal maker in the White House. As I mentioned, the deregulation and the energy, those are big factors. But against that, I'll just speak from a California perspective right now. And California is the biggest component of the U.S. economy by far. Right now, we have here in California the highest unemployment rate in the country. Now, that's the result of Democrat policies here. When you look across the economy as a whole, we need to get that boost. And a bigger cut, which should have happened earlier, would have been exactly what we need to create that confidence and turbocharge investment. I mean, look, it's better than nothing, but we've got to do better than this.
Really interesting. Thank you so much, Steve Hilton. It's always a pleasure to listen to you and have you on. Thank you so much.